All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got part two of this. Hopefully we won't get interrupted again, but we just finished the T-Birds, which I told you I love. Next is the Volt. When Sarah Hokum came down to the Natty to help us out with our game and give us some instruction and show off the MVP discs, I picked up the Volt and I haven't let it go since. It's been a really good sort of mid-range fairway driver when I need a little bit more distance than the T-Birds. I just couldn't get used to the Thunderbirds. I guess I didn't give them enough of a try. So this one got in here and it's been sticking ever since. That's the Volt. I'm not very familiar with their plastics, but it's Proton plastic. I do prefer, not this plastic, but I lost all mine. I do prefer the Neutron plastic instead of the Proton. That's a different disc. Anyways, so that's the Volt. That's a one little layer up above the fairway driver. Let's take a look at the utility discs. My Leopard. Freaking Leopard, right? It's a great turnover disc, great straight shooter disc. I really enjoy this disc a lot. I do carry this in the max weight only because they're a lot more, well, I don't know why, it just works that way. But this is, again, Star Plastic, and I love this disc. I just started learning how to throw with the Firebird. Amazing. I don't know how I kept it out of my bag. When I first got this Glow Idlewild Open disc, I did get it from a local here. I ended up getting his bag and this was in it, and luckily it was because it's freaking amazing. When I first got this, it was so overstable. I just could not work with it, but I forced myself, and after it was gotten beaten in a little bit, this is an amazing utility disc and I really enjoy it, especially for forehands. I don't usually throw most of those other discs except for the Volt as a forehand, but this one definitely. And if I need something to turn real fast, especially at the end, this is what I need. All of those are 300 feet and in. Again, most of them are like the 170, low 170, high 160 weights. The mid-ranges were the 180. Let's go to some of the drivers. A newer disc I picked up is this Roadrunner, the Barsby. Freaking love it. It feels so good in the hand and it just flies amazingly, but they are very touchy. Mine's a 171 weight. This is just an amazing disc. I'm still learning how to use it. It's extremely touchy, but I feel like I barely have to throw it to get the distance I do on some of my drivers. It just turns over and then it'll eventually fade. If you put too much power, all it does is turn over. But this is really a cool disc. I'm still learning how to use it, but if you haven't tried it, it's a really neat disc. I bought a bunch of these. I just started throwing with the Bosses. Wow. This Pro Boss is my first Pro Plastic forehand disc. It's working amazingly. I was throwing my Destroyers, which you'll see in a moment, but this seems to work a lot better for me for my forehand game. It's a bit more stable. It is lighter, it's 171, but it's been a great addition. Just got this maybe a couple weeks ago because about 2 months ago, I started throwing with this Glow Gummy Champion Boss. This is max weight. It's probably the only max weight in my bag, driver-wise, but I feel like you can just put more into these and really dig into it to get more distance. And I've been getting a little more distance than my Destroyers. But I do love my Destroyers. So this is my baby. These are all Flying Pigs. I just started using the when I first started using Destroyers, I got this Flying Pig from the Cincy area. It's a great event we have here. And I've just gotten used to these. I love them. Usually 170 weight, 171, 172. I love these discs and they feel so good in my hand. Again, this is, I believe, Star or Champion. It's just really nice. It feels more like a mix between Star and Champion. I'm sure some of you other people would know what this is. but I love it. It's my distance driver 300 plus. I just started using a lighter version, a 162. I mean, I threw this disc the furthest I've ever thrown any disc, so I'm like, I gotta figure out something else. So I put it in my bag. It still works just like the 170 a little bit, but I feel like when there's a tailwind, maybe this might be the better disc. I got this at the Glow event recently last year that Dan Bayless puts on. It's another Destroyer, 167 weight. It's a Glow version. You can see I'm doing like some colorations and stuff, just playing around. But this is a really interesting disc. I don't usually do a lot of rollers, but the Roadrunner is a fantastic backhand roller when I need to flip real fast. But this has become a really good backhand roller for me as well, because it is much more flippy than my other Destroyers, and it holds that straighter line much more than the Roadrunner. The Roadrunner is going to, on a backhand, you know, it's going to roll, and then eventually it's going to turn to the face side. When I backhand it, it seems to stay straighter for longer, and if it will typically go to the inside plate if I don't get it up and good. But I see a lot of potential with these two discs. They are newer, and I'm going to keep trying them. This is, I believe, again, it's that Glow plastic, and that's what's in my bag. Appreciate you guys watching. If you have any comments, please comment below. If you have questions, ask me your questions. I'd be happy to answer them, and have fun throwing out there. Thanks so much.